Hello, my name is Alexander Morari, and I'm the founder of ITKeyMedia. You've tuned into our podcast about Central and Eastern European companies that are in pre-Series A stage. And our guest today is Tatiana Cotliuba, the CEO of Sonr. That's a Moldovan company, a Moldovan startup that develops innovative communication systems for swimmers. Bună ziua, Tatiana.
Bună ziua. Hello.
Let me just focus that this is a Moldovan startup, and I'm now in Moldova myself, and the company kindly hosts me now in their office, and Tatiana is now at home being online member to a Texas, I understand, some tech event in Texas. So Tatiana, now, the company Sonr is probably serving a pretty big market, but not many people are aware how big a market this is. Can you make an introduction about the target market? What is the market size and who are your potential buyers of the product? And then we'll jump into the product itself.
Yeah, so basically the product is for swimming market. It is about swimming gear. So it is very difficult to say how big it is, not talking about the namely market. So for example, the US market is more than $90 billion a year, so which is the dates of 2019. So talking about the other countries, it is very quite big too. So when we are talking about who is it for and who buys it, it is swimming coaches that because they have really big pain of screaming, of yelling during the training sessions, and it is a pain for them to make the swimmer understand the corrections, the instructions. When we are talking about the swimming sessions, where are a lot of big teams who are training at the same time.
Yeah, let me then pick up the gear itself, and you will explain one by one what I have in my hands already, okay? So it's not an early stage startup. You have already your R&D behind you, and I understand you have already clients, and even I heard from your friends at the team that you ordered already several thousand products from China and that are about to reach you. So this is the set that we have, I understand. This is the transmitter, I guess.
Yeah, it is the transmitter, the radio for the coach. So the coach talks into the radio.
Yeah.
And the swimmer has our receivers. Yes, that's it. So this small pack weighs 40 grams. And because of this, the swimmer doesn't feel it when it is on his head. It can be placed without this blue clip. Yeah, it can be placed under the swimming cap, or it can be placed on the clip and fixed on the strap of the goggles.
Yeah. And as far as placing, I understand it could be either this bone or this bone, it doesn't matter. And guys, by the way, yeah, I tried it on my own skull, you could say, and it actually works. And can you explain the principle of transmitting transforming radio waves, I understand, into what? Vibrations, I guess, that are like knocking the bone and transmitting through bone.
Under this rubber thing, we have a bone conductor there, bone conducting speaker, yes. And it transforms the sound and allows the swimmer to hear by his bones, by bone conduction technology.
And the simple idea is there's a swimming student, let's say, who has a coach. And so the coach can directly speak the commands and comments and so on to the swimmer while swimmers are in the swimming pool, I guess.
Yep, and here is the thing that it's not only about personal coaching, it's about team coaching too. So, for example, if we have a coach and he has 20 swimmers at the same time, so no problem, every swimmer can have our receiver, and the coach talks into the radio and all 20 swimmers hear him at the same time. Or if he has this necessity, he can give one unique channel to a guy or two or three. He can divide them into groups and instruct them as he wants.
Okay. And so from your website, there are some technical limitations, I understand, based on some physical, of course, physical parameters. This can be used in the open water and in the closed premises, right? Like swimming pools, closed up swimming pools. What's the limit for, I mean, what's the distance range for open water?
The distance receiving signal is 300 meters. So yep, it can be used in open water too. Talking about the depth, which is, so basically we say that it is 1 meter. because it depends on how far the coach is from the swimmers.
What was that, 1 meter or 100?
The distance of receiving signal is 300 meters.
Yeah, okay.
Talking about the depth is 1 meter deep. So basically we say this because it depends on how far the coach is from the athletes.
Yes. And how many swimmers can receive the signals at the same time, let's say in a swimming pool, closed swimming pool?
Unlimited quantity. So any quantity of receivers, any number can be connected to one radio. So we have limited radio channels.
Okay.
But on one channel, any number of swimmer can receive signals.
Okay, interesting. Here's another crazy idea. How you are focusing on swimmers only, but there are some other water sports as well that could be also interesting markets, like team sports, water polo, for instance.
Yeah, they're interested too, and they had possibility to test our device. We just focus only on one market right now, only for swimming, but we understand that kayaking, surfing, water polo, all water sports, and basically all the team sports can be interested in something like this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. Now, so more or less, let's agree. The idea is very simple, if not ideal in its simplicity, you could say. More or less, the hardware is more or less clear, at least on principle, what it does and so on. And tell me then, making one step backwards, who came with the idea and why did you decide to do this? Is there any like prehistory?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's imagine. So, it was Dmitry Voloshin. It is our founder.
Okay.
He, for example, let's imagine that he prepares for a swim, for a Bosphorus swim, and he's working out with his coach in the pool. So, as he gets the task, he begins to swim and hears only fragments of sentences. Because of the sound of water and constant immersion of the head in the water, it is difficult to hear something, to hear the coach's voice, basically. And we are talking only about a pool of 25 meters, but it is already difficult. And then a thought arises in his head that it would be nice to have a device that would allow me to hear the coach's voice and to hear the instructions in real time. So a coach could have a radio and I could have something on my head that would allow me to hear the instructions correctly and in real time and very clear.
Mm-hmm. And so it was
like
so it was necessitated by one of the founders, you could say, right, of the company, because Dmitry Voloshin is one of the founders, I guess. And for people who don't know Dmitry Voloshin, this is, I think, a unique personality for Moldovan tech space. He's swimming across Bosphorus, across Gibraltar, and he's doing triathlons, and he's an Ironman, and just, I would say, an interesting businessman and personality, definitely. Now, let's dive into your habitat, so to say. The company itself is part of a bigger entity. Can you explain how you fit into the bigger platform or startup factory that you're developing?
It's very nice. When we are talking about company Simples, it's really very big, and we have a lot of different kinds of companies inside it. So it is mostly digital products, but there is a department inside Simples, that is called Garage. Garage is a department that makes some technical innovation. So in this department comes Dmitry when some idea comes in his head and he wants to make it and to understand can it work or not. So that's it. And in Garage we can check Dima's ideas. We can check if it can work, how it can work, and we have engineers inside. And we have some products that already are implemented, are created, and we try to launch them and launch some markets with them.
Okay, and test in reality, in practice. Okay, Tatiana, coming back to Sonr. Coming back to Sonr. What's the current situation as far as business goes? Do you have already Sonr set swimming somewhere? And if yes, what are key markets for you right now? What's the pricing policy?
So from the very beginning, we started with some digital campaign and with pre-orders, and we tried to sell our product to swimming coaches since they have this necessity. And we understood that we are not ready to buy it without testing. And we started, so we got that our product is a B2B one and we have to run business this way. And we have changed our strategy then. We started to work with European market first because it's very near to us and we understand it better instead of Asian and American market. So we started with European one. By the way, now Sonr is tested in 20 countries. So our dealers all around the
Okay.
world have our device and they give it to the coaches and they test it. And during last 6 months, about 30 countries have already tested the device. So
Mm-hmm.
3, 4 coaches in every country had this possibility. So we work with B2B. We work on contracts. We find some swimming shops or stores who are selling swimming gear or something like this, sport gear, and we try to show them, to send them the device to test, to show it to the swimming
Okay.
coaches to see their reaction, and then we ask them if they would like to collaborate with us, and if they agree, we sign a contract and we start working together. Now in the fourth quarter of this year, we work with Asian, European. We continue working with European market, and we started working with Asian, American, and Australian markets too, trying to find there somebody who would like to test the device and who would like to work with us too.
Okay, interesting. And you said those shops are smaller but specialized shops, very niche related. What about bigger retailers, sports retailers like, Decathlon, just to name one, or Go Sport, Decathlon, and similar. Have you tried them as well? I know it's very difficult to get into onto the shelves of such big companies, but have you started the process? Is it a promising go-to-market distribution channel?
Sure. We have tried, we have started to do it, but we understand that we are only launching the markets and we
Right.
are only coming there with our product. And now we have such big partners.
Okay. What about the pricing for this set? And
We have
this set, yeah.
different
So
sets.
let me just repeat again. So the set is composed of what? A transmitter, a clip, or could be including clip, and the Sonr itself, right?
Yep, every set includes radios and Sonr. One radio and one Sonr receiver. It is a basic set, and every set includes all the needed accessories like goggles, clip, charging cables, earplugs, and everything like this. So,
Okay.
but we have different sets for teams. For example, where we have basic set costs $199. And in the sets where are more receivers, for example, dual receiver package consists of one radio and 2 receivers. It is
Yeah. Okay.
$315. And we have sets where there are one radio and 5 receivers, one radio and 8 receivers, or 3 radios and 15 receivers. So for example,
Mm-hmm.
this big pack of 3 radios and 15 receivers, it costs $1,845. And sure, everybody can buy only a radio and only a receiver and combine it in a set.
Okay. So altogether, how many pieces have you already managed to sell? And I mean, not the
We
pilots,
have
the
managed,
sold. Mhm.
yeah, we have launched a pre-order campaign. It was quite successful. It took us 2 months to get 150 pre-orders. And then we finished to work with this and we started to work with distributors and to sign contracts with them. And sure, they have commitments. Now we
Mhm.
have commitments with them and I can't call it sales.
Yeah, yeah, okay, okay. So I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, okay, so you are creating a channel of communication live with swimmers, but are you thinking of maybe gathering some statistics and then connecting hardware to some kind of online history for swimmers, or at least you can measure the distance, I guess. I mean, I'm improvising right now, but are you now trying to test these directions as well? It could be like almost automatic thinking, but I wonder what's your approach?
Sure. And we are going to make more products inside the ecosystem of Sonr. And we are going to make the second version of this device. And Dmitry already has the ideas how it should be. But regarding the plan and the strategy, how all the company symbols and all the projects inside it works, we work like product managers. And
Okay.
when we would like to create something, first we go to people and we ask, what do you need? Do you need this thing? Do you need some statistics. What kind of statistics do you need? What for? And only then we combine this data. And after this, we decide what kind of product it should be. Because of this, for now, I don't have answer for these questions, but sure, we think about this.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm sure there's a product management methodology, algorithms, and so on. But you personally do believe in some additional kind of online layers of services that could be packed into a SaaS kind of approach with a subscription
Yeah,
and
but
access to your own personal data.
Sure, it's interesting
Okay.
because of the pandemic situation in the world, and it became a trend. And sure, it's interesting to understand if people need it.
With this, Tatiana, let's move on to next round. The next round is about competition. Do you have any competition?
Sure. What business comes without them? So we have some Chinese competitors.
Okay.
I can send you a PDF file with them where we illustrate how it works. So for example, it is Equacam, it is MyJukes, it is Funderator. These are Chinese companies who have created devices like this. So what's the difference between them and us? Our device looks like a small pack, and it is very, very, very light. It weighs only 40 grams. Yeah. Competitor devices, yes, they look like headphones. So they also work on bone conduction technology, but they have bone conductors here. And they're really like a headset, but has a thing here on the hind head, and something like headset with bone conductors here. I'm not allowed, unfortunately, to show it to you, but I'm going to send you a picture how it looks like.
Yeah, so they are bulkier and less comfortable, I understand.
Yeah, they're less comfortable for the swimmer. So for the coach, it's okay, but for the swimmer, yes.
So you have competition, but you have competition, but your competition is behind you as far as design and comfort for the users. Okay.
Yeah. One more thing is about the range, so the distance and the depth of receiving signal. It is because we work on radio waves, and mostly our competitors work on Bluetooth connection that isn't allowed to work underwater. So because of this, our statistics are better, our range of receiving signal.
So you mentioned at least two competitive edges, okay? And for future investors and for your own good, of course, and benefit, have you thought about defensibility? Are you working on patents? Is it patentable at all? Your technology?
Yeah, but it is.
Meaning what? You have started the process, or you are just planning and putting together the documents and so on? What's the stage of your patenting
we
effort?
are already in the process of doing it.
Okay. Good luck with that. Let's move on, Tatiana. And now, very quick questions about your productivity or some productivity hacks. Definitely, to have a product like that on your mind, takes all the time. I understand. What are your personal productivity hacks? Meaning, what unique or maybe unique ways of doing things you could share with us? Not the tools. Tools are more or less, we can guess.
Talking about working with a team more generally.
Your personal, what keeps you more and more productive? In interaction with the team or in your own time management, doesn't it?
Yeah, two things. One of them is the idea of a device, and the thing that, so product management, we have a lot of instruments that make us to talk with our customers. We talk with our distributors, we talk with the coaches, we talk with the coaches who have used our competitive products, and we talk with the coaches who use ours. And then we understand how they feel it, what they think about this. When we get these reactions, it makes me, I would say, powerful, and I'm ready to work on this product again and again, because I see that people need it and the market needs something like this, and I'm ready to work. And my team, so our guys are also talking with the customers every day. And as soon as we start getting tired or not feeling so well, we are talking with them and we understand that they need it, and we are ready to work for them and to make this world a little bit better.
How noble and interesting. And by the way, Dmitry said so. I mean, we do not work only for the money. I mean, if only for the money would be too boring, and for the money as number three, but then change people's lives and change the world to a little bit better one is something that keeps you going. And I understand you have the same kind of religion, right, in your mind as well. Tatiana, one
Yep,
last
yep.
question
It's
here.
better to call it religion.
Yeah, yeah. Mm, you know, religion, not religion, but let's say a cult of benefit, of your client's benefit, and you know, like common good for the third planet from the sun. Okay. Now, Tatiana, and as far as any tools, software, apps, programs, do you or can you share anything unique, or maybe something you just discovered recently, which is not in the standard set of apps and programs, like, you know, I don't know, Asana, Slack, and all this stuff? Is there anything unique you could recommend?
Talking about the markets.
No, 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 about a software or application or program that you're using in your everyday activity and which helps you a lot. Like, you know,
Uh,
but not a regular one, something unique, something you discovered recently.
Recently, it's difficult to say because everything depends on market. When we launch on one more market, for example, for an Asian one, we discover new social networks, for
Oh,
example,
okay.
Line, WeChats, and everything like this, and new browsers where
Okay.
we try to find something. In our work, we work a lot with Miro for a long
Mira.
time, and we
Hmm.
are using it every day. Yeah.
Okay. In the whole history of you being on top of this company as a product manager and CEO, what decision would you change today, knowing what you know already?
Mm, it's difficult to say because every decision have given to us a new experience that we need a lot right now. Um, I would like to have my product team earlier, and I would take the decision to hire these people to make them a part of this team earlier, and then we will
Hmm.
get these insights earlier too, and our decisions would change. So we know that we work in the world of not knowing what to be tomorrow and what to
Yep.
do and how to do and how it works in this market, and this feeling is very difficult, and because of this it depends on people who work here, who work in this project and in this feeling every day, and because of
Hmm.
this everything depends on them, on the team, and basically of the collaboration between the team and the stakeholders of the business.
Uh-huh. So you basically you need to have people in your team that excel and not only like, but maybe even masochistically like the unknown. That every new day brings new challenges and so on. And by the way, as a leader of a team, do you have any approaches or hacks how to find such people? What are looking in you people to join your team, or is it just by the
It is
guts?
very, yeah, the most important thing is if the person likes to study something new
Ah, okay.
and likes to study every day and to pay a lot of attention on this. So uh, in our company can work only people who are not able to think that now I know how it works. No, we never know how it works. We can know some insights, we can see some strategies, but we already have to learn and study every day.
Okay, interesting. So ever like eternal what hunger for knowledge or eternal readiness to realize that you do not know everything, and the
Yeah.
combination is something that you're looking for in the people. Okay. And now switching to round four, which is actually the company. So more or less, you explain how you try to make a company stronger and open for new ideas and directions for development. And now, as far as the company, like structurally, let's say, how many founders you have, how many people in the team right now dedicated to this project?
We have two founders, two
Okay.
stakeholders. About the team, it is very small. So we are five people about managing team, I mean. So engineers have been working with us a lot of time before, so now they are working with us only a part of their time, and our managing team, it is 5 people.
Okay, just to make sure. So two founders, meaning who?
Dmitry
Let's
Voloshin
name.
and Roman
Mhm.
Shtirbo.
Okay, Dmitry and
Dmitry
Roman.
Voloshin and
Okay.
Roman Shcherbov. Yep.
Yes. Okay. And then outside, so apart from them, 5 more engineers, I understand.
So 2 stakeholders, engineers who work with us a part of their time, and our managing team, who is 5 people.
I'll be quite honest. I was really surprised at the quality of your website first when I was there before this recording. And then when I got this into my hands, I mean, come on, this is like design global level. And all of these you have managed to achieve with like 5 people or 5 plus 2. Come on.
It is only a managing company. So a lot of people have
Wow.
worked on
Okay.
design of this thing, of engineers. So I'm talking only about the people who now try to make this great idea like a working business.
How would you estimate the whole team or the number of old people that contributed to this project? How many people?
It is very, very difficult to say. I would say about 30.
30. Now you're talking. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, interesting. Now you're talking. So guys, it's a product created by a team. I understand that a different level of contribution and engagement, but anyways, around 30 people contributed to the success. And all these people are your
Yeah.
in-house people, right? You do not outsource to other companies.
Yep, but we work with outsource. We have outsourced designers, and we have a lot
Okay.
of mentors who help us from outside. So, for example, with our marketing, we have a mentor who works with us. We have a lot of suppliers in China because it is very, very difficult to manufacture something new right now because we still have the pandemic situation in the world. And our CTO is like a hero for us who does something from Moldova, trying to collaborate with them in China and not having a possibility to go there because of a pandemic. Also, we have a lot of people who help us with ideas, with some vision from the outside, and we often collaborate with somebody. So
Yeah,
they are like a part of our team too.
As far as cooperation with China right now, in what's that, November 2029, it's a really heroic act of trying to do this and be successful in this as well. Wish you all the best of luck, and we could even dedicate a whole like new podcast on how to work with Chinese producers and manufacturers and distributors. Let's move on to the last but not least, round 5, and we call this Formula F3, funding for the future. And before we discuss the future funding needs or plans, can you give us in a nutshell your funding history by now? Have you been invested externally, or all of that like bootstrapped and by the founders or management of the company only?
Yep, everything was invested by our main company of Simples and our founders. Yes.
Can you try to give us at least an approximate amount of investment?
I think it's confidential information.
Yeah, okay.
I can't, unfortunately.
Look, right now you like seem to be pretty like well positioned for the next phase, which is scale up globally. Would you agree? And if yes, like what do you lack? Are you looking for external financing? And if yes, what type of venture capital funds you would prefer to have on board?
It's a very difficult question too, because we really have investments, and we get money for. So now we need money for production, for manufacturing our devices, and we have it. Talking about the future, we will need a round of investment, but only in the end of year 2022.
In the end year 2022. Okay, and how do you forecast this investment round? How much, and what could be the main goals? I mean, imagine a couple of investors are watching this podcast right now, and so they pencil in their calendar somewhere June, July, August to get back to you and to contact and ask for some updates and so on. So how much you think you would need, and maybe even more importantly, for like on what purposes? For what purposes?
Okay, just the vision of the team and of the stakeholders. So this thing, it is about 500,000, and it will be for marketing, for marketing, for some growing up like a company, like a business. So all the marketing activities basically in the US market are very, very expensive.
Yeah,
So
okay.
if we are talking about some investments, we will need them namely for this thing.
Okay,
And for
so
growing the team, for sure.
so product development will stay in Moldova, and production will be in China, and then you will need what to strengthen your distribution channels and create sales and marketing units, let's say, in different markets. Okay. Amazing,
Yep.
Tatiana. Thank you very much. It's really a pleasure to be hosted by you guys at Simpulse. Over there, you see all the accolades, I understand, for the company and for Dmitry Voloshin, one of the founders. Thank you very much for being so flexible. To be honest, like to all the viewers, we organized this like in 20 minutes before the recording itself.
Yep.
Glad to meet you, Tatiana. All the best. Good luck to you and to your startup factory, should I say. And we will be definitely following successes of Sonr. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you a lot for your time. Thanks.